Well, good morning everybody. I'm on the River Thames at Culham. This is Sutton Courtenay AC water. Day tickets in advance from tackle shops. Not that there's many left around here. So I'm going to be fishing the whip. So that's all I'm going to be fishing today. I'm just going to be fishing close in, probably 4.5, 5 metre whips. I've got a pack of whips here. I'll just show you. Hopefully you can see that. These are my old trusty whips. There's an old Browning speed stick in there. There's some Daiwa ones and Shimano ones. I've got a couple of longer matrix ones with me as well. That's all I'm going to be doing, fishing a whip. I'm specifically going to try and catch a few bleak because I'm not a fan of bleak fishing, but I know that's a part of my game that's a little bit rusty. And in a week or two I've got the Thames Festival on here, so yeah, let's see if we can catch a few bleak, because the rivers are fishing hard, they're low and clear. The roach aren't necessarily feeding everywhere, so I thought we'll come and just have a little go with bleak, try and get my hooks and rigs and everything right, and see what we can catch. And hopefully we'll catch some nice roach and perch underneath them as well. But that's the plan, whip fishing on the River Thames. Right, let's get going. I've set up 4 whips. I've got 2 4 meters, a 4.5 and a 5 meter whip. Now the 5 meter whip is what I'm going to start on, and it's for fishing on the bottom. I reckon it's got to be about 9 foot there. It's deep, deeper than I expected. So we'll bait up and we're just going to throw in a few balls of ground bait and see what we can catch on the bottom first, and then we'll come up. I imagine my float's probably not going to settle. Yeah, I'm just going to throw in a few balls of ground bait. So I've got some casters, maggots, pinkies. We'll chuck the lot in. Rich balls to begin with. I'm just going to put one-handed squeezes like that. Like that. Full of balls, full of bait. And we're just going to throw a bit in. I could have just balled in several big balls, but I think we'll just do it like this to begin with. Have mixed up loads of ground bait. Just lake, a little bit of river. I have put a little bit of yellow Trossachs in, just to create a bit more of a cloud, and a bit of crushed hemp. I'm not feeding a cloudy mix quite deliberately, because I think you'll catch the bleak anyway, whether you feed a cloudy mix or not. So I'm trying to get fish on the bottom, and then we'll catch above them anyway every time I lose feed or throw a ball of ground bait in. So quite hard, stodgy balls. See, that's lifted already. So there's, oh, I was expecting a fish to be on that. No. So we'll just quickly wash our hand. Got a lot of boats today whilst I've been setting up. There we are, we've had one on the drop straight away. That's what I fully expected. And it's a bleak. Whoop! Well, first one missing the net. It's a bleak. Yeah. So we fed a bit. Let's just bait up. Single maggot on an 18. Fishing a positive rig, by the way. It's a 1.5 gram pencil float. I've got 2 number 9s together and an Olivet, so 6-inch hook length, and about 7 inches above that is my bulk Olivet. There's no place for a bulk and 3 droppers on the Thames once you've fed. Later on when the bleak disappear maybe, but early doors, heavy bulk straight down. I'm fully expecting that not to settle and getting hold ups and stuff as the bleak and dace and little chublets and that rush in. But yeah, that went down all right. It's a good sign. There are little things plimping and plopping all over the place. There's a load of minnows off the end of my net here, and I've even had a crayfish calling up my net whilst I was setting up. I reckon my net had only been in there, don't know, 5 minutes, and there was a crayfish halfway up it, come to say hello. So let's see. I'm going to feed, I'm going to loose feed. I've got a couple of pints of maggots, pint of pinkies, pint of casters. They're freshly turned casters, but I've not cleaned them off. I thought, well, I knew I was coming today, I'm not going to go to the effort of picking out all my skins and that for a pleasure session, but I normally would. Let's just see what we can catch. I expect some bites pretty much straight away, but you never know what's in your peg. I'm gobsmacked that's settling, and if we don't get any bleak problems up in the water, then we might be able to move the bulk up. But yeah, we'll feed plenty of bait, plenty of particles. Oh, that was a bit of weed or something on the bottom there, just caught up. Maggot's not been touched. But yeah, I think they're going to be racing up above me again in a sec. The young boys. Wow, I'm shocked that's not going under. This is a pike in the peg already. Just pop another ball in until they arrive. Normally you get bites straight away.
You kind of rise up to the cast, the hands come up, the body come up. Your head is coming up, it's constantly looking at that person's head up front, and you're kind of overseeing it, you kind of look over the top.
Well, I'm pretty shocked that hasn't gone under straight away. Let's get a bit more bait in there. Plenty of particles. There are a lot of mouths in this river. If they're not on the bottom, they'll definitely be 2 or 3 foot deep. I was hoping to catch a few roach and perch underneath them to begin with. We might be fishing for bleak straight away. Oh, there we are. That's a bite. Oh. That's a chub. That is a chub. I'm not selling whip fishing to you yet, am I? Eh? It was on a pinky. Let's go back to a maggot. Now this river, I've not fished this middle bit of the river for a while now, but I've been following the results and it's not been fishing very well. It's normally full of quality roach, and the weights have been like really poor. So, but we've had a bit of rain in the last week. So I'm hoping it's got a nice tinge. It's not tap water clear like the Avon. So I'm just hoping there's some roach in the system now, and they're going to feed. Little bleak top in there, you see. We'll definitely catch up. I just thought I'd try on the bottom first. It's not looking too promising at the moment, but they'll arrive. I'll put one more ball in. Just trying to fish on or just short of my float. See, that's not settled. I think my maggot's been ragged. Oh, this thing's grabbing my hook bait. Oh, no, that's still alright. Because it's really channeling over the field behind me. So I could have crash bang wallop, 5 or 6 big oranges of ground bait in, but I thought we'd just give them a ball of chuck, see what happens. But normally it's holding up and everything, so I'm quite surprised. There's plenty of depth. This is like 20 crayfish down there, which could sometimes be the case. There was definitely 1 or 2 on me on the end of my keep net. Okay, well in that case, we can spread these out if we're not getting nuisance fish trouble. Let's move this up a bit. Like that. So we have a bulk and 2. spread out those 2 number 9s. I'll try and catch on that. And give it one more ball. Even when you're not getting bites, you've got to feed. You've got to feed. See, that's going up. And that's another bleak. But this is what I'm expecting to catch, or it's what I've almost come to try and catch as well. Just get my eye in and get a feel for bleak fishing. I don't particularly enjoy targeting them, but it's a necessary tactic, and it's something that could play a really important part with this river isn't fishing how it should be, and the roach aren't feeding. Then that's been absolutely smashed. I've just moved the bulk up now, and that's been smashed on the way down. Didn't even get there. Didn't even get to the bottom. That's why we fish a positive bulk and a dropper, because there's no flow on this bit as well, and we're just fishing 5 meters to hand. A really slim pencil float as well. Just effortless. There's no clunking on the bite or anything. It just comes straight down. So that's just the shoulders just playing around a little bit. Tend to let them have it first. Alright, that's enough feeding for a bit. Let's just wash that hand. But yeah, because this is a bottom mix as well, it's going straight down and working its magic. I was expecting to get a few more bites down there. It's all pointing to a funny old day. Right, so that's next to nothing on the bottom. No roach or perch or dace. And there's a lot of dace and hybrids and things in this river. So let's pop the bottom rig off on there. Let's just pick straight away my 4 meter jobby. And that's just a bulk above a 4-inch hook length. I'm gonna thread a maggot up the hook. So it's sort of semi fixed in there. This should go straight away. Yeah, straight away. That's where they are. Obviously that heavier rig just bypasses them. There's a lot of tiny fish in here as well, but hopefully there's some chunky minnows and chunky bleak and stuff. There you are, that's what we're after. That sort of size are worth catching. You do 50, 60 of those, you're gonna have a pound, aren't you? I put my whip down. That's a bad habit. Right. This is the sort of thing I need to play with, really. So you want to hold it nice and lightly, end of your hand, straight away. And you don't want to put that whip down, so you want to unhook the fish there as well. There are faster ways. Just check that maggots. No, it's almost ready for another one. But yeah, don't put the whip down. Thread it on nice and deep. See, they were there, they were just not on the bottom. I fully expected to catch shallow there. See, that was a bite straight away. A little bit long. It is surprisingly windy, so you can see it dancing as soon as it hit the surface. There you are, see. So there's plenty of fish in this river. They're just not on the bottom just yet. And that's why I wasn't bothered about feeding a cloudy mix, because they're going to be there anyway. Why won't that one come on? Come on, I don't want to damage you. Yeah. Yeah, and that's all mangled up the shank. Yeah. The top bleak anglers sometimes leave a much longer tag of line on their bleak hooks. That's a thought, if I tie up some specific bleak hooks as well. So sometimes you can thread it through the point and thread it up. Oh, try again. Doesn't matter if it bursts a little bit. Straight away. So there's loads of bleak in here, and minnows and things. You will catch some roach up there, I'm sure. Even some little chub and things. This is a 0.3 gram float, this one. I've got a 4.5 metre whip with a 0.4 on. See, they're worth catching. That's a decent bleak, isn't it? Huh? You see it's blowing that maggot up the line again. So all that sort of thing's going to slow you down. So this one, I've started off on my most positive rig. See, look, there's a little tag. Shall we see if we can get a bite on that? I should have changed it really, but we might be able to catch one more fish. Yeah, they'll eat anything when they... Oh, it was going sideways and we missed it. Yeah. But anyway, that's worth knowing. And what you could do is have some older maggots as well. I'm trying to get that skin off. So you can either go for the blunt end if you're threading it, or you can go through that pointy end. I'm going to go for the point. Yeah, if you have some old maggots, they'll be tougher. You can fridge them hard and get them all nice and tough. These are a bit too fresh, really. I should put my castor maggots on from home. Straight away, I wasn't looking. Someone's chasing that. Someone's definitely chasing that. Oh, we're going to have a bit of a battle again. Yeah, that doubled over. So there's lots of things to think about. Let's just hook it normally, lightly, see what happens. Come in.
Just move towards me, move on. Will, listen to me, move on. Okay, final cheese, third point. Go! Gosh, you're not even listening!
Guys, you're not even listening. Better bleak.
Eyes in your own boat next time. Okay, because now you've just missed the scoop.
Right, I'm going to have a little rest, a little break, and we'll join you again in a sec. Right, try a different hook. This is slightly finer, slightly longer shank. And let's see what this is like. You want something you can be able to grab if they've gone like a centimetre down the gullet. Oh, I felt that one. I looked away and could feel it on the old, I'm going to say quiver tip then, on the old flick tip. The hardest thing is swinging it back towards you because of the wind. It's important that don't go, the absolute heaviest I'd go on this, mainline wise, is 010. I wouldn't even be scared of fishing an 08 or 09 mainline, because it's going to catch the wind a lot less. I've come a bit shallower, by the way, just to see. There might just be tiny fish shallower. Oh, it's so windy, I don't even have to flick it and use the wind to cast it for me. That's our only problem today, is going to be this wind. Tell just from trying to flick the thing in. But that hook actually does feel better already. I like a round bend nickel up for a lot of my Thames fishing, but for bleak I think you want something a little bit finer, maybe something a bit more of a crystal shank, and a longer shank. And if you can, bury in that hook. That's a massive thing. And because you're so shallow, look, there's just a skin there. It's just a skin. We'll see if we can catch on that still. I'm nowhere near the best at this. The England guys, and anyone with a bit of an international sort of pedigree, they show everyone how it's done. And the Italians and the French and those nations, they do a lot of it. Oh, it's absolute skin that. I was just missing by it. So let's just go back to a fresher, full-bodied maggot. I just think if I had some older maggots with me, I know some people, they toughen them up in like brick dust and things like that. That's a consideration. Straight away, see, hit that one. But yeah, little short 4-inch hook length. Nice big rimmed keep net as well. You don't want anything in the way really. You don't want a landing net over there or anything silly. I'll fish around the feed. They're topping and boiling and all sorts now. I have to really whip it down to get where I want it. I'm assuming that's gone under yet. I was looking away at the boats. But this is good. There's better and more fluid ways of catching them than what I'm doing. But I'm reasonably happy. Reasonably happy that I'm doing it half right. And because it's bleak fishing, you don't want a big bend in the quiver tip. You want it to come down to here. You want it the same length as the whip almost. You don't really want any bend in that because you've got to rebait and do all your rebaiting and everything. If you're fishing for bigger fish, then you can make it a bit shorter than the length of the whip. Why is that not hooking? Yeah, if you're fishing for bigger fish, you can have it sort of that much shorter, and you've got to obviously take into account the size of the fish when you swing them in on the bend of the whip. Wasn't looking. What's that one? See, I hooked that lighter. I didn't bury it, and it's not so good because it's a big hook. But once you've got a maggot buried in it, you obviously don't see that, and it stays on a bit easier. So I'm missing a few now. You can see them all plimpling all along the top. Oh, now that's a proper herring. Look at that one. It's the biggest bleak of the lot. If they're all that size, you'd be laughing. Look at that, proper bleak. So yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. What I'm going to do now is deepen up. We'll try going a bit deeper. Go quite a bit deeper and see what's under. What's that going to be? About 3 foot now. And then we'll go full depth again and see if there's any fish arrived under the bleak. Hopefully there has. But yeah. I'm almost not bothered about feeding the bleak. I'm trying to feed the fish underneath because the bleak are naturally there anyway, up in the water. So that's blown up the shank a bit, but you just pull it back down and you're back in business. At least for one more fish. Oh, that's a bit short. I don't mind that as long as it doesn't go long. And if you go a bit deeper, you might hook more fish. You might come back with a fish more often. So that's just a red ball of mush now. Yeah, they might be slightly smaller or bigger. Oh, that one's landed in my ground bait. I like that ground bait. Yeah, sonobait's lake and a bit of river. It's not a bleak mix. It's definitely not a bleak mix. I'm not even going to bother putting a pink. Well, go on then. Let's thread a pinky on. Quite big, nice big pinkies actually. Have a couple on a pinky. See, that's not even settling, so there's a fish on. But it's tiny, tiny, tiny. So I think maggots might be a better option. That's just going sideways. Pinky still looks all right. It's like better one. But yeah, I thought I'd try a bit deeper just to see. But they're clearly top to bottom with bleak. Yeah, let's have a quick go on the deck again and see what's there. But look, even my hookup's right at the bottom there. See? Because there's not a huge amount of bend in that when I hook it up. I want them to come to hand. I don't want a massive bend in the tip because the rig flies back. It makes it harder to bait up. The textbooks all tell you to fish long, to fish it a lot shorter than the whip. But the bleak experts tell you otherwise and know otherwise. I'm going to bring this back down again. Let's just see what we can catch underneath them. You'd think there'd be at least some perch down there. I'm trying to bosh it down. I'm trying not to make too much of a noise. Easier said than done. Because this wind doesn't help. There we are. There we are. That's got to be a perch. Yeah. It's worth a few bleak, isn't it? Straight away. Yeah, we'll eventually catch one. Got to be more than one perch there, hasn't there? Yeah. Oh, snagged on the bottom. That's might be why. Oh. Looks good on the. Get a good photo of that. Oh, it's not budging. Not budging. Just feed a ball and we'll deal with that in a sec. I want to be about there. There's obviously some nasty old snag there. We got a hook back. I'm going to say no. Nope, new hook required. I'm only using my old hooks up. I'll pop a 20 on, a little tiny 20. Here they come again. Obviously what we can do is try a caster. Should we pop one on now? Because that tends to be a bit more bleak proof. You'll catch bleak on casters, but not as many, in my experience. What they always say is, you know, there's no point fishing through £10 of bleak to catch £5 of roach, but I'd still rather catch £5 of roach, to be honest. There we are. Ooh, what we got? Oh, it's a pommy. A silver bream, I think. On a caster. They're what I like to catch. So you got to weigh up. Can you catch those bleak faster? Or do you have to fish through them? Or a bit of both? Yeah, we're still having the old caster. Oh, I can see the crayfish there. Oh, there's two. There's one just nestled in the fold. Oh, there's three bloody crayfish. There's one right on the end. Oh no, there's two. And there was another one just past that. Oh, that's a big one. It's heaving with the things. Well, I'm shocked how little action I'm getting on the bottom. I know as soon as I go shallow again, it's going to be solid. Just try a little bit shallower. So I always think with the amount of crayfish in this river these days, maybe they just don't want to be on the bottom where they might get nipped at. There we are. So we've just come off bottom with a caster. And got a little silver bream again. Off the bottom this time. But we're not catching them fast enough. You'd have caught a lot more bleak in the time it took to catch that. Coming off the bottom with a caster. Caster bleak. Oh, look at that cormorant. Bloody things. Oh, that's a little chublet. Chub. Rub-a-dub chub. Alright, we had a good old effort at trying to catch full depth. So let's just have, I don't know, 20 minutes just fishing shallow. Just fishing for bleak. We'll thread a nice maggot on. And let's see what we can catch. Straight away. I reckon I could fish a 3.5 metre whip or even a 3 metre today would be better, but what I wanted to do was fish a top and bottom approach, and I'd rather fish a longer whip and try and catch some better fish on the bottom if I can. But yeah, certainly a 3.5 metre whip would have worked as well. Oh, that one, come on. But yeah, nice to get your eye in on this style of fishing. Not the best at it. I'd certainly rather be catching roach underneath. But as we found out so far, I've not seen a roach. We've had several on the same mangled maggot. You can get into a nice little rhythm, can't you? Oh, there's another cormorant. Not distracted by the boaters and the cormorants. Yeah, a lot of cormorants on here now. That was nowhere near where I wanted it, but... So we're getting a fish, a chuck now. Oh, that's a chub. There's a tiny little skin left. I think I should need to change it, but we won't, we'll see. It's going. Oh, we got one. Another chub. Oh no, that's a dace. Little baby dace. I'll throw that in. Yeah, some older, tougher maggots wouldn't have gone amiss today. Oh, I can see them spread then. So some dive through them. We still haven't had a pike strike yet, have we? But yeah, if nothing else, I've proved that you can be wasting your time not getting a bite on the bottom when above them, what are we, 2 foot deep on the simplest of rigs, if the roach aren't showing. That's a little tiny, little bit of skin. Oh, that didn't go in very nice. We got one. Like I say, I am not the best at this. The best way to do it is to hold the fish, cast the rig out, and then put the fish in the keep net. If you ever watch the top boys do it, that's what they do. But I'm not a top boy at it, not by a long shot. Look at that, erupting. Oh, we had one on without seeing a bite. Yeah, come on, wind. Oh wow, wow. It's a flyby. Look. Wow. I think I've got one on the end, I'm sure I can feel it. Yeah, I was more bothered about that though. Oh, brilliant. It's just nice. The things you see when you're out on the bank. Obviously we could use an even heavier float, but 0.3, 0.4 seems about right on this river for me. I'd love to tell you what the float is, but I've had them ages. I haven't really showed you the float or anything yet, have I? It's a little, just a little, I assume it's either bleak pattern. A little Descae one, Census Descae one, 0.3 gram. I've got them right up to a gram, these floats. They just look nice for bleak fishing, so I bought a load. It doesn't matter if it bursts a little bit, but that's it. You can just see it's threaded. You can see that. They're just not massive bleak, but they're almost worth catching. And certainly on a hard day when you want 4 or 5 pound, you can certainly do 4 or 5 pound like this, can't you? Ooh. You can keep them on the hook. I've just mixed it a bit wetter, so that ground gets a bit cloudier now, just to see what happens. And it's exactly what I expected. You can actually see them erupting in it. Tub of water as well. Pretty much essential if you're throwing in any ground bait on a river. Don't know how some people get by without any water or a towel. I coach people, they don't even have a towel. Like, well, what do you do? I reckon they've come right up. Let's shallow up a little bit. But sometimes they're smaller, the ones that are up. And you tend to miss more bites the shallower you go. Wow, there's loads there, aren't there? What you can do as well is obviously fish long with a waggler or a feeder or a long pole, and then bleak fish short. And the thinking is, by bleak fishing short, it will pull some of the fish away from your roach swim, because you don't want to catch them. You don't want to go 13, 14 metres and catch those, do you? But yeah, despite the tricky wind, it's a fish to chuck. I'm going to say they're 50 to the pound. They might be more than that. We've not tried a white maggot, have we? Not sure why. See, that's a bigger one straight away. In fact, that's a dace. Danny the dace. There you go. That's no dace. Perch, that's what's been chasing them, isn't it? 2.5 foot. Just got distracted by that crayfish going down my keep net again. Oh yeah, he's right over it. I think they're not eating my keep net. Alright, I'm going to pop on a fresh maggot and we're going to catch 20. See how quickly we can catch 20. Starting from now. There's one. Two. Three. Was that 4 or 5? Already lost count. I'm doing well on the same maggot. Distracted by someone's dog. Someone's dog was after me ground bait then. Started missing again. I think I need to change that hook bait. There's just a little smidgen of skin there now. Just thread a new one on. It's always better with a fresh hook bait. Must be near 20 now. I haven't been counting, have I? You just got to weigh up, haven't you? Whether these are worth catching in any numbers. So if I'm keep coming back with a fish like I am, you just keep catching them. And then if it goes a bit quiet, have a little go underneath. I've gone a bit small again now though. Oh my God. Bigger one. Every time you put a fresh maggot on, you get a bigger bleak, it seems. One more. One more. There you are. Whee. Well, they all add up. So, yeah. There we are. That's a bit of bleak fishing for you. Alright, see if we can catch 2 or 3 better fish underneath them. And that'll do me, I think. It's only ever going to be a couple of hours whip fishing just to get me hand back in. Finally had one. It took a long time to catch that one there, relatively. Still not settling. You have to bring everything down, the whole lot, the whole caboodle. See if that'll get through them. So that I've just got an olivet and a 6-inch hook length. That worked, didn't it? Dace. Yeah, just an olivet and a 6-inch hook length. 1.5 grams. Dace straight away. Try it again then. La da 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 da. And again, another dace. And paddle boarders. Yeah, again. Oh, a roach. Finally caught a roach. Well, that's really interesting. The only way I can get it down is to have everything 6 inches away from the hook. 1.5 grams. Well, that's 1 gram olivet and 5 number 8s. It's the only way. So they are down there. Just getting it down to them. Amazing. It's the only thing that's bombing through them. Where's my float gone? There it is. Getting distracted by all the fish rolling around. Yeah. So I'm just fishing for hold-ups now. Is that a crayfish? I'm going to say it's a crayfish. Yeah, it's a crayfish. Bloody things. I reckon I've hooked 2 or 3 of those today. And they've come off straight away, but that one's in there. You can just go back. Should we call it a day on that? No, I'm not. I think that's why the bottom's been a bit funny today. I think I've got every crayfish in the river in front of me. I haven't even put any chopped worm in. Alright, a couple of times I've just felt a little bit of a weight, but it wasn't like nodding like a fish. I think that highlights what it was. surely not another one. It bloody well is. 2 crayfish and 2 drops. That one's in the tail. That's right, me hook length. 2 and 2 drops. Bloody hell. Right. No, I'm going to catch 5 more fish shallow. That's what we'll do. I'm not going to catch another crayfish. That's why we haven't been able to catch on the bottom today. I think there's half a dozen of them at least there, if not more. But we don't need to, because we can catch these. Right, let's quickly catch 5 on the same maggot. Put it on nicely. And that will be it. That's fine. It's getting windier as well. 1. 2. The chub. I think the chub wreck it a bit more than the bleak. 2. Didn't swing that one quite so far out. Three. Four. Last one. There we are. It's getting a lot windier now, so I think that's a good enough point to call it a day. I'll see you again on the bank. But there we are, double quick time. Loads of bleak, a few little hybrids or pommies or silver bream, a few perch, lots and lots of bites, lots and lots of fish in double quick time. It's just a couple of hours fishing. Multiply that by 5 hours and you'd have a decent net of fish there, I think. So yeah, decent day on the bank of the Thames, a little bit of whip fishing. Go out there and give it a go.